To continue with this short workspace series where I'm talking about how my space is improving my workflow, today I thought I would share one of the most important things for me, which is keeping this space clean and tidy. Now, I occasionally get comments that this space looks too neat and tidy, that it looks like it's never been used, never been lived in, but I can tell you that this is where I do all of my work at the moment, from processing orders to editing videos to creating new artwork. So I end up being in here most hours of every single day, and so it's not uncommon for this space to end up looking a little more like this. So this is a real end of the day mess that I've left for you guys to see. There are plenty more plants than usual just because I bought some new ones the other day and I haven't found a place for them yet. But I've left it like this just to demystify this idea that a neat space is always neat, or that a neat space can't be used. I've just adopted habits that make dealing with this kind of mess so easy, so quick. It's something that I can do literally every single day, and I think that's something that you guys were looking for. You don't necessarily want to have a pristine space, you just want a space that you can get back down to zero, reset from scratch every day, so that you have the best possible area to be working in and to be thinking in, because a clear space, I believe, is a clear mind. So yeah, we're just going to tidy up today together. The first step is always to clear the space, which I've made so simple and easy for myself. It is never a chore. So let's get started. I've said it before, but everything has a place, and everything I use the most I keep close at hand. You can see that in my last videos where I talk about how my layout relates to my workflow, but in this case, having things close to hand, easy to get to, means that they're also easy to put away. I don't know about you guys, but I'm much less likely to put something away if it's in a box, under another box, on a top shelf. I just kind of make my excuses and I'll say, oh well, I'm going to use it tomorrow anyway, so I might as well leave it out. So drawers are a great option for this, which is why I keep all of my most used art supplies in this drawer unit here, but also open storage is a nice idea. Things like pots and boxes, trays, different things that are dedicated to different things like tubes of paint, pens, pencils, stamps, whatever it is that you use. Having a nice display of those things and having them easy to access is a really good encouragement to easily pop things back wherever you found them. You might have also noticed, especially in my art supply storage video, that even inside my drawers, things are in easily distinguishable categories. This helps with the everything having a place thing. It also just streamlines the tidying process. Drawer organisers are great, but they can be expensive. I said in my last video that the organisers that I have totaled up to costing more than the actual drawer unit itself, but you can easily DIY some drawer organisers with cardboard, with craft paper. I've done this in the past and I would definitely do it again. They're just as effective and you don't have to spend that much money. If you're interested, I'll leave some links below to some useful videos because I do think it's worth checking out. So when it comes to organising things in drawers and in boxes, you may have noticed that the key theme in keeping things organised is accessibility. So my next point is to not overfill things. Whenever I'm reorganising a space, I always like to leave room to grow. Just empty or clearer spaces, so there's always room to move around, no struggle to get to things that might be wedged under or around other things. Everything gets its own personal space. Which leads us to another key to a clear space, which is just to have less stuff in general. I feel like all of us creatives have a habit of acquiring new things and maybe hoarding to an extent. We like to experiment, we like to broaden our artistic horizons and just see how different media and tools could, contribute to our work. But the byproduct of this, of course, is clutter. So every few months for me, I will just clear everything out. I will empty all the drawers, all the boxes, and I'll go through everything very intentionally and just analyze whether or not I've been using them, whether I plan on using them. And I get really brutal with myself. I get really strict and just, purge the things that I don't need, fill up a huge box that goes to the charity shop, because the way I see it, if I'm not using it, it's much better served with someone else that's going to create something beautiful with it. Now, obviously, you don't have to go to the extremes that I do. You could do this like once or twice a year, but the key is to take it seriously when you do it. Really commit to clearing things out and being honest with yourself, being realistic. If you're not using something, do you really need it, or could someone else be using it? Alright, so as you can see by now, everything has been put away, minus me talking. That took 5 to 10 minutes, so super duper quick. And as I said, this is something that I literally do every day because it takes, you know, minutes, and it's so easy because everything just slots back into place. It's so simple. After the tidying comes a quick and easy clean. I adopt the same kind of habits that I do all around the house, and I'm just kind of a clean as you go kind of person, a spot cleaning person. So rather than doing a massive deep clean at the end of the week, I just pick up the bits that I've left behind, just leave a space looking as if I was never there, basically. So I just keep this box at my desk of all the kind of go-to cleaning supplies that I might need whenever I'm working here, just along with other things that I might occasionally need at my desk, like a spare mouse, a speaker, headphones, stuff like that. So it's not taking up any extra space down there, but the stuff, as I said, is just always to hand whenever I need it. And there are times where I do reach for it, you know, mid-painting, just to clear up the space I'm in to, you know, minimise the risk of, you know, tainting a painting. All I need in here is a roll of tissue paper and a pack of cleaning wipes. I am aiming to cut down on my waste, so once I've used these up, I will just switch to a dry cloth, or a couple of dry cloths and a spray of like DIY all-purpose spray. But for now, I'm just using these, and you know, when I've switched to the low waste option, that still won't take up any extra space in there. So depending on the mess, I will just dust off any, you know, loose pencil shavings, eraser shavings. In this case there was loads of soil from those plants. Just dust off any of those kinds of bits, and then follow up with a wet wipe down all the surfaces that need it, and only the surfaces that need it. Like I said, this is just a quick everyday thing. I'm just cleaning up the messes that are there. I'm not doing a deep clean. I'm just preventing any mess that is there from sinking in and, you know, getting ingrained and being more of a task to get rid of, you know, a few days down the line. Now I will say that most of the art supplies I use are water-based, so they come off pretty easily with just a damp cloth. Whenever I do use inks or acrylics, I will just give them a wipe with like acetone or nail varnish remover, and that always works, but it's not something that I would recommend, just because it's going to be corrosive on most surfaces and you don't want to do any damage just to the look or the quality of, you know, a wood tabletop or something like that. So that's like 10 minutes to totally reset this space and make it somewhere that's the easiest possible space for me to work in. And that is literally it for my daily cleaning routine. I think people think it's more complicated, but it really is just a case of doing a little bit very often and keeping things under control. And like I always say in these videos, if you are someone that really flourishes creatively in a space that doesn't look like this, in a space that's full of paint splatters and colour and clutter, do you. Like, never let anyone tell you what your workspace should look like. Your workspace is an extension of you, your personality and the way you work, and it gels with your personality. It should be almost like a living thing that complements you and your workflow. So just find a balance, find what works for you and go with that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.